Hi team, Gina Raebel here. I found a great article yesterday, February 2nd, on Harvard Business Review called Even in a Digital World, Globalization is Not Inevitable. It was written by an author you're all familiar with, Pankaj Gamawat. In the aftermath of UK's Brexit vote and the US's presidential election, globalization is now being seen as a hot potato rather than a ticket to prosperity as it always has been viewed in the past. Many people are even questioning the ideas that borders should be open to trade at all. They feel the rewards of globalization may not be evenly distributed. In the past week, the number of searches on Google for trade war jumped sevenfold. While a number of experts believe that our digitally connected world will only lead to increased globalization, the author of this particular article says that's globaloney. He sheds light on several different examples that illustrate his point. For example, Gamawat says that if new technologies were truly facilitating globalization, that Indian software companies would no longer be dependent upon English-speaking nations for more than 80% of their revenues. Transnational phone calls, social media interactions, and e-commerce accounts for only 5 to 25% of worldwide communication. The author believes that language barriers are the single largest driver of that small amount. Gamawat claims that proportionately, the amount of international internet traffic has only doubled since 2005. This is an enormous departure from the 45-fold estimate that McKinsey analysts have projected. The author goes on to suggest that the enormous emphasis placed on technological development is wrongfully diminishing the importance of very, very critical non-digital trading and investing around the world. More and more companies are primarily focused on their digital business activities, and this means they're often neglecting important physical aspects involved with cross-border trading. For example, shipping an order into a country is much more heavily scrutinized than any e-commerce activity. One of the largest barriers to true globalization is splinternet. This is the internet actually cracking apart into discrete groups that are no longer willing, or in some cases able, to connect with one another. China actually drove this development with Baidu. Many people are concerned that cyberspace opens up an entirely new arena for warfare. Internet analysts have recently confirmed that dozens of nations already have the ability to hack into other nations around the world. The author believes that the importance placed upon digitization of business is actually reducing intangible assets like know-how. He says that because knowledge is undigitizable, that its value in today's society is drastically diminishing. Gamawa ends his article by reiterating how very dangerous it is to assume that technology is increasing globalization. He firmly believes that developments like robotics, 3D printing, they're actually reducing trade levels because of the drop in costs. He even goes so far as to say that online educational technology is reducing cross-border flows of university students. This begs the question, are we in our executive MBA program contributing to a decrease in globalization? Globalization was initially driven by falling transport costs. Then communication facilitated an increase in economic production, and now globalization is really being fueled by the virtual movement of people. The question is that sustainable? Thank you for your time.